Here we go. We're recording. This is our last day. We've got Stacey here today to talk to us all about the Unhurried Entrepreneur. I love the name of it, Stacey. I love that you're like, let's set the ground rules here. We're not looking to make ourselves as busy as possible. I know productivity and efficiency is a huge piece. And as your business grows, it does not shrink. After 7, 8 years of this, I find the busier my business gets, the more my focus is on managing my time without overwhelming myself becomes such a high priority because there's no end of things that can fill up your time. And as your business grows and you get further along, those things just seem to compound. So, a couple of quick rules. Just keep yourselves on mute unless Stacey asks for us to pipe up. Always feel free to share in the chat. We are going to go right into Stacey's today, the Unhurried Entrepreneur, simple practices to create time, space, and ease in our business. And then this is Stacey. She is a lovely lady. Look, you're wearing red in your picture too. I have known Stacey for quite a few years. I have been incredibly privileged to work with her in both directions. I've been able to support her. She's been able to support me. It's a real treat to have her here to end our week together and to give us some of her expertise. I'll let you do your full intro, Stacey, and I'll hand the virtual mic over to you, as Carrie says.
Thank you, Cheyanne. And good morning, everybody. I know some people on the call, but not everybody. Cheyanne gave me the brief for this whole series, and it was start with the end in mind. And so she said, I always talk to you about time management and productivity. What can you come up with? And so I thought about things and I thought, what would I want? And what I want is a feeling of spaciousness in my business. And so I just invite you in the chat to just pop in how are you arriving today? And what do you want for your business in terms of a word? Oh, that was a big one. I've got Cheyanne on the big screen, so I really saw that. So how are you arriving today? And just a word around your business. How does your business feel? Let's see what we've got. Pre-work, thanks, Caru. Angelus is cluttered and arriving glad to be at the end of the week. It was overstuffed. I love that. It sounds like a very full olive. Fragmented, arriving overwhelmed, trying to catch up, too spread out. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's for me when I started. So I've been in business since 2021 now. I felt like there needed to be a lot of grind, and I don't know why I felt that way, but I had this expectation of myself that I needed to grind. And as I've gotten a little more maturity, I wouldn't say my business is mature, but a little more maturity in the business, that's not the feeling that I want for myself. So I thought, what can I create this morning? So I created the Unhurried Entrepreneur. So we're going to see what you folks think about that. And I did pop in the chat, the pre-work exercise. So we'll use a few things from the pre-work exercise in this workshop. If you haven't done it, don't worry. We're just going to walk through. So we've got two arriving spread out in different directions, feeling good in the business. That's great. Busy and not in a hurried way. Yes, I see your pictures from wonderful places that you've been, Wendy. So that's, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to try and share my screen and see if it's going to behave itself this morning. Let's see. Share and there. Can you all see? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to pin you over to the side and let's talk about the Unhurried Entrepreneur. Are you seeing your little vignettes on the side? Are you seeing your own faces on the side? Okay, good. I just want to see you, but you don't have to see you. So what I thought about was let's go for less hurry and more impact. So one of the things that you truly appreciate about your business right now, and you guys, we got a small group, so we can come off mute if you want, or drop it in the chat. And maybe because I've got screens going now, Cheyanne, you can help me with the chat part. So if you want to come off mute, one thing that you appreciate about your business at this point. Everybody's going for chat. Nobody's going for off mic.
Mine was community. Angela's was excitement about the future.
Nice.
Jennifer's is give me great meaning and purpose. Erin's is employee growth. Wendy's
Oh,
ditto Cheyenne, but I'll add in great clients. Oh, I love that.
awesome. Thank you for that. So one of the things we know is that when we hurry, when we feel pressures, that we have less creativity, less clarity, and we can't zoom out. So there's less strategic thinking. And my three favorite productivity books are Make Time, Getting Things Done, and then Tiny Habits. So Make Time teaches us that busyness is not a me problem, it's a design problem. And they've got some specific things, which we're going to talk about some of them in this, to try and design things so that we get away from the hurry. They call it the busy bandwagon. We want to come off of the busy bandwagon and into something that is more intentional. So what we're going to say is cap the hurry. So the first part is clarify. The second part is activating focus. And then the third part is going to be planning your CEOR. So I've got a little exercise for you for that as well. So I thought, clarify, what is that like? Well, I always consider this kind of the deep clean. So if you've read, has anybody read Getting Things Done? Just a show of hands. Okay, we've got a few people. Okay, and so one of the things that stood out for me is just around capture. So their concept of capture is looking at all the places that we have to-dos and putting them in one central place. And that's the first part. And then the second part is that you can't prioritize what you have not clarified, so that we need to be really specific. So if we look at capture, I don't know about you, but I tend to have things in lots of different places. Even just if I just focus on the business, my home stuff is one place, and I'm okay with that. The home stuff I've got situated, but the business stuff, sometimes it's in a lot of places because I get through things through email. Sometimes I'm in a meeting and I put something on a stick-it note. Sometime I've got it in a notebook. Sometime I've grabbed a piece of paper on my desk and I've started to write notes about a client or something else. So I have it in a lot of different places. And what Capture encourages you to do is pick one place to put it, and then to do a review on a regular basis. So if you had to identify, like, just again, where are all the places that your to-dos hide? Just take a second and jot them down. Like, where are they? And when I work with people on this, and usually the people that I work with are fairly overwhelmed, they're usually in healthcare. Generally, they have a lot of places that those to-dos hide, and it is daunting because it takes them usually over an hour, sometimes more than that, to actually collapse everything into one main list. And so that's why I call it the deep clean, because they'll say to me, I'm overwhelmed, and I'll be like, how are you doing on your capture? Well, I haven't done it for about 3 or 4 weeks. So we know for the house cleaning, like, we might not do a deep clean for a while, but when we get it done, it feels like there is so much space and clarity that's provided to us. And so that's one thing. It's yes, it's about bringing the information together in one spot, but it's also about making sure that you get that feeling of the clarity. Um, so the other thing that Getting Things Done will recommend is, again, that you pick one spot for it. If you're getting a lot of your work via email, so when I worked in an organization, I got a lot of assignments on email. So people would say, can you do this? Can you send me this? Can you approve this? And basically, I used Microsoft Outlook tasks at that point. Now it's kind of shifted over into do. But that's how I got everything organized. And people would say to me, how do you remember that? It's like, I don't. I don't remember it. What the author will say for getting things done is, heads are for thinking, not for collecting things. And so that's one of the things we want to do is try to offload that mental load by putting it in a place where we have faith. Because that's always for me, is like, do I have faith that I'm going to find it again? That we have faith that we can go back to it and get it. So that's the first part. The second part is you can't prioritize what you've not clarified. So a lot of times we have big aims, and I'll say things like, I don't know, set up billing system. Well, that that's pretty big. I'm not sure what the first step of that would be for me. So maybe if I do have a billing system, just so you know, but if it was I was on the first thing, maybe it would be investigate, what billing systems are available that are low cost and have my key features. Or maybe it's even just write down my key features of what a billing system would be. So what is my next step associated with that thing? So again, we want to be as clear as we possibly can because we can't action it if it is nebulous like that. So that's the first step is clarify. So the C in CAP is clarify, and we're going for capturing and also prioritizing and clarifying the actual item. The second one is activating focus. And this is what I call the daily tidy. So although when I work with people, I say, yeah, okay, no problem. You haven't done capture for 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, you can live with not doing it. Um, it just makes life a lot better when you can. And I don't necessarily do it every week either. But the daily tidy, I'm pretty regimented about. So 3 parts. So have people read Make Time? Anybody read Make Time? Yep, Cheyanne has. Look at her. Okay, I don't see other nods, but I don't see hands going up. So Make Time is a great little book. I was just looking down on my floor. I have it down there. Um, and one of the concepts in there that I really loved and I pulled from it was highlight. So for me, I'm a to-do person and I have big lists. And one of the things I was finding in my business that was really, I was struggling with to begin with is I would have this massive list looking at me at the beginning of the day. And then by the end of the day, maybe I'd put out quite a few fires, done some other stuff, maybe got distracted because I didn't really want to do the marketing part of things, Cheyanne, sorry. That kind of thing. And so, what really appealed to me about this highlight is you're not picking 20 things, you're picking one thing. So, out of your list of whatever, 40 things that you need to achieve, 20 things that you need to achieve the day, what is the most important thing for your business for you to do today? That is your highlight. So, if I get nothing else done, I write a highlight. Um, I'd still have a to-do list, but I make sure that I have that highlight pulled out. And I will say for me, that has worked fairly well because I would say probably at least 95% of the day, I get that done, even to the point where I'm so obsessive about it is if I have extra time at night and I haven't fixed that highlight, I will make sure that that highlight is almost all the way there so that I can easily pick it up and have it done the next day. So that's the first part. And how we pick out highlights, it could be a whole bunch of things. It could be what's most urgent. It could be what's most important. It could be that you know that there's a deadline coming up. So that's creating some of your urgency. Sometimes it's not even a business highlight for me. Sometimes it's something going on in my personal life, something going on for my family. And that is the number one thing I need to make happen today. Okay. The next part on activating focus for part of the daily tidy is just a tiny micro action. Again, people will know if they've heard me talk anywhere at all. I love Tiny Habits. So Tiny Habits is by BJ Fogg, and he is the chief scientist basically at the head of Stanford's Behavior Design Lab. And he really has done a lot of research and worked with over 100,000 people in terms of trying to implement habits into their lives. And so a couple of years back, again, just because I was looking for more tools for the folks that I work with, I went ahead and became certified in this. And I love it because it breaks things down into an easy three-part way to actually implement habits into your day. And so habits could be your micro action, but your micro action really is anything that's teeny tiny that is not going to overwhelm you. So let's say I need to write a proposal for a client. Maybe that's too big. Maybe my little micro action is going to be pulling all the proposals, like two proposals that I've done for previous clients in the past, just to get myself started. So that it doesn't look like, oh, like so much. Okay, like, oh, that's what I did for the template, or that's how I priced that bit, or whatever. It's just going to get me going. So I like a highlight and I love a micro action because we know that if we start tiny, then we have less barriers. So my third part for activating focus and is recovery breaks. So one of the things I was finding for myself working at mostly at home, mostly on the computer, is I'd get to a certain part of the day and I was knackered. Like I could not, I'd be trying to push through and I was just so mentally overdone, but I knew I had deadlines. And so I'm like, hey, I've got a nursing background. I know how to push through, girl. So I would do that. And what I have found, I had a little conversation, Cheyanne knows I do this quite a bit, had a little conversation with Copilot one night, and I said, this is what's happening in my world. What is going on? And Copilot basically, and I paraphrase, said to me, um, are you getting up and going to rotate the laundry? Yes. Are you going down to get yourself lunch? Yes. Are you making the bed? Yes. Well, those are not recovery breaks. Those are other task breaks. And that is not what we need to reduce. What you're describing is basically cognitive overload. And that is not what we do to do that. So we think we're taking a break. We think we're going to the bathroom or we're going to get our lunch or we're doing something, making the grocery list. But it's actually taking a piece of your mental load, your cognitive ability as well. So recovery breaks look like something different. And I said, oh, Copilot, recovery break for me is like a 45-minute walk. And they basically said to me, um, you're overachieving on this. It doesn't need to be 45 minutes. 45 minutes is great if you can do it. But it doesn't need to be that. It can be going out, opening the door, and standing outside on your porch for 2 minutes. It can be looking out the window at the bird feeder. It can be playing a song that you love in your office. It can be going down and petting the dog. It's like 2 or 3 minute reset, eyes off the screen, doing something that is reducing your cognitive load. And I've got to say that for me, out of besides highlight, because I was kind of already doing micro actions, recovery breaks has been the game changer for me. I still do, like I do larger ones at lunchtime. Like if I can, I work in that walk. And if it's not, my gold standard is 45. I have a already planned in the neighborhood a 30-minute, a 15-minute, and a 10. So I know like for each of my things, walking is a big thing for me. My time block, I always take a longer one at lunch. And then I usually take a smaller one in the afternoon, smaller one in the morning, but I take many, many recovery breaks over the course of the day. And I don't think I have it sitting right here. Oh, here it is. I do have a timer, and so I know people probably know Pomodoro and the time blocking. I do that too. I've got a very bad habit of going, "Ah, timer went, you can push through." So it's not a huge success for me, but I do try at least every 60 to 90 minutes to move it. Because even if it's getting up and doing 2 yoga poses in the office, it makes a huge difference. And I've noticed now that I've been more attuned to it, that when I'm getting sluggish and it's taking a lot more time to do something than I think it should, even though it feels counterintuitive, I make myself get up and do something. So last night taught all day for an organization. I came back, I'm in school, I had a school assignment, and I was like, oh, I just need to get it done because I'm tired. And I thought, you're thinking about it the wrong way. Go for a half hour walk, which is what I did. And then I zipped through all the stuff I needed to when I came back. So, all that to say, huge advocate for recovery breaks. And those three are the things that I think make up for me the daily tidy. So they're pretty much non-negotiables. A highlight goes in every day. A micro action, sometimes it's just writing down a phone number of somebody I need to call, because if I have the phone number in my book, I'm more likely to make the call. And then making sure that I've set myself up for one really good recovery break, especially if I look at my calendar and I go meeting, 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 and then multiple ones out over the course of the day. So that's the second one. The third one is the CEO hour, and hopefully we're going to have a little bit of fun in this. I've got it actually into the chat in just a second, so I'm going to um, give it to you. Actually, let me do that right now. Let me stop share, go into chat, and here.
I've just dropped it in,
Oh,
Stacey.
you are so good to me. Thank you so much. So the CEO hour is something again that I was lamenting to Copilot, and I said, Copilot, I need to get my life in order. Help me out. And so some of the questions are similar questions to what you had at the worksheet on the way in. Um, in terms of, how am I feeling about my business this week? That's what we checked in with. What's giving me energy this week? And so, we all know that there's things that give us energy in the week, and there's things that take it away. It's like a bank deposit, right? And we need more going in than we know going out. And even if we think, oh, that shouldn't take my energy, I think we do that to ourselves all the time. It's like, maybe it shouldn't, but it does. So it's like, what's giving me energy and what is draining the energy? So we'll just walk through each of the bits at a time. That's the check-in that I typically do with myself. Um, and then I go through and I go, looking back on my week, what move forward? And maybe it's not exactly what I wanted it to be. But I have a little sign somewhere in my office. I think it's stuck on the file cabinet, which hopefully you can't see because it's a little messy, down below me. And it basically says, even small steps move me forward. So I always look back and I go, what moved forward this week? What didn't move forward? And it's no shame on me. It's like, why didn't it move forward? Well, maybe I'm not that interested. Maybe I'm feeling really challenged by that. And so I need to talk to one of my business besties to get me over the hump. You know, maybe it's I didn't have all the information. Maybe I didn't have the mental capacity, and that's okay. But then I can make an intentional plan around it. And then I always do this. I do this with myself. I do this with probably every single person that I coach. Are what are the wins? We are so focused on what is not working, we don't recognize what is actually working for us. And so even teeny tiny things that are happening over the course of the week are wins. Like this week, I had quite a few wins. I had somebody mention me that was basically a referral. So it's a that I got a Valentine from my besties at work. That was lovely. So, in my class, we had somebody celebrating Chinese New Year. So we had oranges that day, and she was thrilled to be having oranges in recognition of Chinese New Year. So, like all those little things, what are the wins for us this week? Again, that's part of shifting also how we feel about our business and creating that spaciousness. The third part is reconnecting with the purpose, and this may feel like a little much, and we may not even have a mission and vision, but you kind of know what you're here for. So how did you connect to that this week? Because at one point in my business, I was like, I'm not connecting. It's not happening for me. I need to figure out how to get it back, because for me, that's a big part of why I do what I do. It's the impact that I'm making with the people that I serve. And then I like affirmations, so that worked for me. I stick in an affirmation for the week. Sometimes it's everything works out for me. Sometimes it's something specific about business. Sometimes it's specific about, I have one on my board over here. It's like, I love getting payment notifications while I'm out walking. So it just really depends on what it is. And then I plan the week ahead. I kind of look at what are my top three priorities. And I usually try and figure out like what's going to be the highlight over the different days. So try and have a little bit the micro action. Who do I want to connect to? So my business is a service business, so it is very based on my network. So coffee chats, LinkedIn, LinkedIn, by commenting on other people's LinkedIn posts, that kind of stuff, going out to dinner with people, just shoving them an article saying, I thought of you with this article, like being deliberate about that. And then looking at what is the visibility and voice that I want to have. Um, the message, I usually pick my topics for my LinkedIn posts that day too. And then finally, I look at what my wrap up ritual, like one thing I'm proud of this week, and then one thing I'm letting go. So, what I thought is that we could start with a couple of the things on here in terms of maybe one and two, for people to get started if you're interested on the CEO hour. So I always think of the CEO hour as the improvement project, the house improvement project. So we've got the deep clean, which is making sure that you're capturing, clarifying. So the C on the cap. Then the A, activating focus, which is, as we talked about, picking your highlight, doing your micro action, and then making sure that you get those recovery breaks in. And then the CEO hour is really standing back on the balcony and looking at how are things going. Because what happens for us, or for me anyway, I'm so doing in my business. Sometimes I'm not looking out. Like I've had a couple of weeks of really doing. I've had a lot of classes, I've had a lot of coaching, I've had a lot of just things on my calendar and then school on top of it. It's like I'm not zooming out. So I have not done my CEO hour probably for at least 2 weeks. So this weekend I have a break and I will be taking this and bringing it with me. And I'm a hand writer, like I don't write it on the computer. I actually sit there and physically write it out. It just helps me think better. Um, so sometimes we just need to zoom out. That's the improvement project. So what I was thinking about, we already did how you're feeling, but like what's giving you energy this week around the business? So drop in chat or come off mute. Your teeny tiny group. What are you thinking? What is giving you
A
energy this week?
nap. I'm excited for a nap.
A nap is good. Nap
Yeah.
is the ultimate recovery break. Yep. How about for the rest of you? Yeah, go ahead, Tiz.
Yeah, this is giving me energy. I I,
Thanks.
I feel I remember the book Getting Things Done and I forgot to like manage my time and think about what I need to do. And so yeah, this is giving me energy.
Oh, great. Thank you for that. How about for other people? Carol. Good to see you, Carol.
Hi. Um, I like this. I like this. Like T said, this one gives me energy. And then I'm writing so much, right? Writing so much. And then I think, Stacey, you should produce that notebook, CEO Hour notebook. So
Oh,
yeah, so we
oh,
can just
Carol's got a
write
business
in.
idea for me. Look at you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Love
because
that,
I
Carol.
would like to, yeah, I would like to write in every day, but I don't want to, copy everything. So I think you should, make a book like
Okay.
this,
I'll put it in
CEO Hour.
Amazon books. I'll put it in
I will
Amazon
buy
books.
it. I will
All
buy
right.
it.
Cool. That'll be my payment notifications while I'm out walking. Cha-ching. Somebody just bought a CEOR. Thanks, Karen. We've got Angela in the chat, excited about upcoming craft shows. Oh, cool. Also, the sun's feeling brighter, yes, and stronger. Woohoo. Yeah, early spring. Great. Co-star students. Yeah. Anything else for energy? Is that a legacy hand, Caro, or did you have something more that's still up from last time? Yep. Okay.
I
Other.
have all of my staff recommitting to our core values, and they seem really invested, which is giving me a lot of energy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. That's a big one. Congratulations on that. Other things. How about things that are draining? LinkedIn posts, womp, womp, womp.
Everyone in my house is constantly sick.
Ah,
Oh, boo.
ooh, yeah, that's a
Not
big
boo.
boo.
I have a cat, so.
That's draining, or is that energy giving?
No, I just meant I feel for her.
Oh, how about
I have, I'm energized because, and I don't know if I can show you, but I found, I'll be moving forward, so let me try to spit it out. It's hard for me to find words for things sometimes. But I know Cheyanne on there, and I know a couple other of the ladies. So I found for the Smash Art Studio sessions LP covers
oh wow.
that I put the finished Smash Art pieces in. So when the clients are done their session and they come and pick them up, they're in a sleeve, and then
Cool.
inside there's a print of one of the community Smash images that I had captured from the 2.5 years of the Smash-thon. So that was really cool. Excited
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
that's
So
totally cool.
moving forward under the radar. So yeah, just I'm nervous, but looking forward to learning the protective vault area to keep all that safe
That's
before we
very
put her
cool.
there. Yeah.
That sounds like a huge step. That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Cheyenne.
I can't remember what we're talking about. My brain
We're
is
talking about energizers
Using
and
dead
drainers.
waste. Yeah.
Energizers is conversations I've been having, and a random energizer, Stacey, just to combat the LinkedIn thing, I threw a random meme on LinkedIn that was like making fun of LinkedIn culture, and it's got 100 reactions on it. That energizes me because it reminds me that marketing is not about taking yourself too seriously. Sometimes when you just put something out that resonates, it will actually perform.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's about as you teach me, it's about the connection. Yes. And we've got fixing the technical part for the website draining. Yeah, I can imagine, but boy, that would be a big pump of energy when it's done, I'm sure. Networking coffee time energy. Yeah. And being authentic in terms of energizing, Sarah. And so there's another article, I didn't mention it in here, but that I love if you can get your hands on it. Right now they've got a paywall on it, but it's Manage Your Energy, Not Your Time by Tony Schwartz. It is the best article, like the best that I've ever read. And we're actually using it in one of the organizations that I work inside of because we can access it through our library stacks. It's great because it talks about the fact that basically it is a bank and there's, different quadrants that we have, and there's things that provide us energy and there's things that drain our energy. And again, just like the recovery breaks, we need to be intentional about managing the energy as we go forward. So if you had, thanks, Cheyenne, you're working away there. So the next part is reviewing the progress. And it sounds like already Sarah's given us some wins, but do other people have wins to celebrate this week? Other than it's Friday and you're here, that you made time for yourself?
I got through, we managed to do the whole challenge, the whole week, 5 days of live events is a big win. It's been
That's
lovely.
awesome. Yeah, you're here. Other wins.
My staff has noticed all of the fake things I put on their checklists to make sure that they're actually reading their checklist and not checked them off. So that's a win.
That's awesome. Very fun. Oh, and Angela's saying sold 2 lanterns thanks to social media posts. Oh, that's awesome. And now it's giving me fuel. Thank you, Angela, for the social media posts. Appreciate that. Excited to be doing the work, meeting with a new client. Excellent. Okay, so already some wins. And again, this is about creating some energy also around our business, right? We are looking for the wins. I do. Oh, the gelato snowman. Oh, Aaron, we all need to come down to New Gelato. It's so good. Um, One of the things that I always talk about with my clients is we get so focused on the day to day that we forget to look back and we don't see the progress that we've made. And so inevitably, if I have somebody and it's usually they're all like so brilliant and so high achieving, and they're maybe not feeling like they're being very impactful, and then I'll be like, what have you done in the last couple months that you're particularly proud of? What have you done in the last 6 months that you're particularly proud of? And then it's usually pretty slow, and then we pick up speed. And then they're like, yeah, especially if they're managing people, it's really hard because they're not necessarily doing the work, but they're helping other people do the work. So we really try and focus on that in terms of looking back and then also recognizing Carol and I share wins every Friday. That's lovely. What a good ritual that is. Love that. You guys are awesome. Okay. And so in the pre-worksheet, we did a little bit of the love note, we did a little bit of the energy scan, we did the wins. We also talked about what's easier, but the other thing that I'd invite you to do is like looking at your week ahead, what are your top priorities? Do you have a sense of that right now for the week ahead? And you don't necessarily need to share, but I just invite you to think about that. And then, what is the micro action? So if you've got a big old thing, breaking it down into something that's a little bit teenier, a little more actionable. So that in a nutshell is CAP and my version of time management. So pulling from mainly those three books, but also a little bit of Tony Schwartz. So I guess I would just invite you, I'm just going to share my screen again here. It behaves itself. There it goes. Yay. So again, in wrap up, that is basically the system is cap the hurry, clarify using capture and clarification, and then activate focus using recovery breaks, number one for sure, but highlights and then micro actions. And then finally, prepare your CEO hour. It doesn't have to be every week, but at least for me, once a month to get my head on straight in terms of am I actually steering the ship in the way that I want it to be? And so as we wrap up, I would invite you to just think about what do you want your business to feel like in this next week? And you can drop it in the chat or come off mute. What do you want it to feel like? What is your word?
I have a word of the year, so
Okay.
give myself that many weeks to figure it out. It's rhythm. Having a
Oh,
sense
nice.
of sustainable, predictable rhythm.
I love that. What else?
We've got
Mine is space. Yeah, physical space, mental space, both.
That's lovely. That's a good word too. Thank you for that. Is there anything in the chat, Cheyanne? I can't see.
Yep. Erin said smooth. Angela, feel like fun, not work. And Tiz is stealing rhythm. It's a great one, Tiz.
Yeah, it is a great
Tiz
one.
is fine. Yeah, fun. And Tiz making space is good too. Nilu's discipline and consistent.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, and my word for all of last year was consistency. And there's a quote that I love is this stone hollows out not through force, but by consistent action, basically. Or it's water dripping on the stone. Water dripping on the stone, the water hollows out the stone by
I'm sorry.
dripping, not by
I'm
force.
so sorry. Can you say that again, please? I was writing that
I
down.
don't know. I don't know if I can. I said, well, I kind
The
of mucked it
stone.
up to begin with. Yeah, water hollows out the stone by dripping on the stone, not by force. And that's a paraphrase of somebody that's, I can't even remember who it came from, but it's an amazing quote. If you just put it into Google, it'll pop it up for you. But that has helped me so much with business for sure, with exercise, with everything. It's like we don't have to do this massive, huge action. We just need to continually drip, drip, drip. And it's same thing on how you want your business to feel and going to the place of being an unhurried entrepreneur. How do we want it to happen? It's not by this massive action that we're going to do. It's by the small little actions, the rhythm, the consistency, the discipline, whatever you want to call it, of the actions that we do on a regular basis. So I guess I'd just open it up for what questions people have or anything else that they wanted to share.
Well, I got lots of rhythm over here, so I'll take all y'all's like common discipline, okay?
We'll pull your energy, Sarah.
Okay, you can have some of it.
Yeah.
Stacey, I'm going to be leaving shortly, and I
Sure.
just want to say I really appreciate your talk, and I love your voice. It's very soothing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Tiz. Thank you for that. It's my spaciousness coming out on Friday. Knowing that I'm headed out to snowshoe, ski, and skate all weekend.
Ooh, fun.
How about for the rest? Any questions or anything else before we leave?
I just want to say thanks because this has reignited the CEO part, I suppose. Like it kind of calmed me down, and I was kind of laughing because I literally was up all night and I do the same thing on making the bed. And I always say that I do my best work when I'm in the bathroom because I literally I bring my laptop and everything in the bathtub and I sit in there for like that's where I do my best work because I don't know why, it's like a containment chamber or something, and it's like
Nice. You
may
get
have
in the
to go.
zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so thank you for that. I think that this really honestly, I needed it. So I really, really appreciate it.
Great. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
it was helpful.
Thank you,
Thanks, Sarah.
Cheyanne. Yeah, thanks,
Nilu?
weekend.
Oh, Nilu dropped off. Is she here? Did she leave us?
No, she's
Thank
here.
you so much, Stacey, for great presentation and valuable information. And I'm on initial stage of business. 2 weeks ago, I launched my website.
Okay.
So my business is Story Geo Solutions.
Just giving you a cheer.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So my business name is Story Geo Solutions,
Okay.
and it's where I prepared story maps.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so bring all those issues in any sector. So bring all those value and voice and audio and video on maps
Okay.
to make a smart
Do you want to
decision.
pop your website in the chat so people have it, Nilu?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So my question is, because 2 weeks ago, yes, I launched the website and I am posted in Instagram or Facebook, on LinkedIn, my professional or all those social media, what I'm doing right now, what exactly I'm doing, and what is your suggestion? And I just got like a few clients, just in the communication, not exactly the client, but in the communication, yes, in the right direction. So next week I have a meeting, just meeting, 101 meeting. So do you have any suggestion for me?
So your audio's warbling a bit for me anyway.
Don't know, today's my internet is lagging. I'm not sure why.
Okay. And
Yeah.
it sounds like you're asking a bit of a marketing question, I'm thinking, about about like the posting, the website and the posting. No, you're not asking.
No.
Okay,
My
I'm sorry.
question is, how can I manage like regarding the time management or yeah. So I just read like a CEO hours and all those things. But as an initial business, what should I, yeah, I'll like focus on one thing right now. Yeah, just one.
I guess I'd ask, like, do you have a sense of what the most important thing is for right now for you? Do you
Yes.
have a sense of that?
Yes, because yeah, so there's a little bit change on the website. So I'm working. So I'm stucking in the one, especially once one point on the website. And but I just want to do what I'm doing right now to focus. Okay, the next step within instead of the website, I need to focus on one point.
Okay.
Sorry, maybe I cannot
That's
express.
okay. Like, I think maybe let's push that over to the side for a second, then we'll come back and see if anybody else has any other
Okay,
questions.
yeah,
I'm still having a bit of a problem with the audio, and then maybe we can figure out, Cheyanne and I can figure out how to help you in terms of figuring out where to, I think what you're asking is where to focus down in
yes.
terms of your efforts. Okay. Any other questions, or thanks for that, Neela. We're going to come back. So any other questions or thoughts as we wrap up today? Anything else from you, Cheyanne, that you wanted to make sure?
Nope. I'm good to I'm good all around.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate it. It's good to see some familiar faces and some new faces. And I appreciate you coming and hope that you have, by the end of this week, have fallen in love with your business again. Good to see everybody.
Beautiful.
Bye
Thank
now. And Neelu will stay on. And I don't know if it's my audio, maybe because you're coming out warbled too now, Cheyanne. So
you.
maybe you can hear Neelu better than me.
I seem to be okay hearing her. Oh, there we go. I think Nilu, so what you're trying to figure out is where to focus, like the prioritization of your time. Is essentially where you're at. So you have the website and then a meeting coming up. Was there anything else that also seemed to be prevalent? You're on mute.
I think it's my internet. Maybe I told you I don't know what happened. So I didn't hear you the last
Yeah.
one.
So it's the website and then this meeting that you have coming up. Those are the two main things that you have.
Yes, right now.
Okay. Does the website need to be set up for the meeting? Like, is there, because the meeting is time bound. That's the one thing you specifically have on the calendar that's going to happen, right?
And I have to do like one small presentation, what I'm doing right now for
Okay.
potential work. So yeah.
I know for me, Stacey, you'll have to chime in. For me, if it's time bound, that goes to the top of the list. And if that eats up the time and energy I have, the other things will have to wait if it's not time bound.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would agree with that. That's usually how I do it. The other thing I will say is, Cheyenne asked a great question in terms of, do you need the website to have the meeting? Oftentimes, what I would say, especially in the beginning, we think we need everything done perfectly. And maybe the person that you're meeting with doesn't need a website, but they need a flyer that you could put together in 20 minutes. So it's like reduce your expectations because the person you're meeting with probably doesn't have any expectation of what you are going to be providing to them. So just think in your mind, like, what do I want to walk away with from the meeting? It's maybe not a sale, but it's a good connection, and maybe I'm going to leave them additional information about it so that they can look at things. And then the other thing I'd want to walk away with is it okay to connect with you next week and then talk more about it? So reduce your expectation because a lot of times we get caught up in, especially the website stuff. And maybe website is integral to your business. I don't know anything about your business, so maybe I'm completely wrong. But for me, I got a lot of effort into that, which was helpful because it distilled what my offerings were. But at a certain point, I didn't really know what my offerings were yet. I had to like try them on, serve people, refine it, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. And now in year 4, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what I'm going to offer. So just reduce your expectation of yourself.
Thank you so much. Because I launched my website, but afterwards it's a lot of changes when I got some suggestions. They saw my website, that's good. They liked it. But now my focus, what exactly I'm doing and what their needs. So according to their needs, I had to prepare something. That's the different. Yeah.
Yeah. And are you a member of Weekend, Nilu?
So no, we no.
Okay, because I was going to say Weekend has an amazing coaching service, and it sounds like it's a really ripe topic to sit with a coach. And Weekend would have had free coaching for you to sit down and really give you some wings in terms of where to go. But it sounds like you've already got some momentum. You've got a client meeting. You started the website already. It's baby steps. You're not going to get it all to where you want it to be, like in 2 seconds, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I'm just connecting with a big network in Southern Ontario. So big network. So where and at the part of some research group and all those things. So they have a meeting, they have a webinar, they have workshop. I always participate what exactly they are presenting. So through that part as well, I am just connected with a few organizations what they are looking for. So yeah.
Right. And I mean, for me, I will say, and I don't know if you're in the same boat, and I'm just conscious of the time. I'm going to have to run in a minute just because I've got another meeting. Um, for me, people who had marketing knowledge, Cheyanne, Carrie were my best buddies because I'm a professional in another discipline. So like I was a nurse first and then I moved over to organizational development and I am a coach. So I've worked as an employee for 30 years. So I do not have any marketing knowledge because I was internal to the company my whole life. And so what they helped me with was really trying to refine who my target market was instead of shooting off into the ether and hoping somebody picks up my brilliance. So for me, I was also looking at in my business, what's my biggest gap? And I knew it was marketing. And that also helped refine where my focus was because it's like, okay, I don't have the marketing knowledge. I need to figure out who my target market is so that I make the best use of my time and do things that are in service of my market and not do things that are really, yeah, okay, if they're fun, let's do them outside of my market. But mostly I'm focusing completely on my market.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Beautiful.
So
Thanks for
hopefully
coming.
that gave you a little bit. Yeah.
Very
Good.
helpful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Good luck, Nilu. It's
Thank you.
lovely to meet you.
Nice to
Shut
meet
it
you.
down.
Okay. Bye now.
Again, Stacey. Bye, ladies.